Welcome to our solar electric trailer journey. We're glad you've joined us today. Right now, we are in Zephyr Hills, Florida, and then tomorrow we'll head down to Tampa for one of the country's largest RV shows. We've known about this for a while, we've had tickets for a while, and we are so excited, and we'll share that information with you on the next time we see you. Right now, right behind us, you can see the electric chargers. Right now, we have our car hooked up to a free fast charger thanks to Duke Energy. And with that, we are going to talk a little bit about charging RVs today.
Charging our EVs.
EVs. What did I say?
RVs.
EVs.
Yeah. We'll charge our trailer someday with solar, but we'll always have to charge our vehicles off the grid. There won't be a way to avoid that as a general rule. But we've learned a lot. We've been driving EVs now for over 4 years. And we feel like we've really learned a lot. We've developed some patterns. We've done a lot of road trips. We've put over 30,000 miles on the Bolt, and we put 10,000 miles on the Leaf before that. The Leaf had such a short range. We could not take it on a road trip at all, no matter what. It just couldn't be done. It only had about a 50-mile range, but it was a great around-town car. With the Bolt, though, we were able to. Our record was 245 miles on a single charge. That was a drive we did.
It was
great trip. We went from Reno to Lake Tahoe on that charge.
Yeah.
It had a couple of advantages. It was net downhill
and the weather was perfect, so that really helps the car with mileage.
Beautiful warm day. It was about 60 or 70 degrees pretty much the whole way.
Spectacular drive.
And it was also a drive, going through Lake Tahoe. The route was a little slower, and that benefits an EV, right? A lot of the energy involved, I think by most estimates, as you get up to freeway speeds, at least half the energy used in a typical EV is to move the air out of the way. And of course, as you slow down, that drops very dramatically. At 25 miles an hour, almost none of the energy is used to move the air out of the way.
Yeah, so we have found that going slower and the warmer weather makes a huge difference in our battery.
Yeah, the cold weather reduces the effectiveness of batteries in EVs by about 20%. It's pretty significant. It'll cut your range a meaningful amount. And by cold weather, I mean, freezing weather. And so that's a thing to just be aware of as you plan. But one of the things that we learned driving to California, and we did it a number of times in the Bolt. We drove to California 3 or 4 times. We did the Bay Area 2 or 3 times. And one of the things that we developed was a pattern of charging a lot, which sounds crazy, but middle-aged man with a prostate, I've got to stop about every 90 minutes anyway. So we just made sure that we timed the charging.
Yeah, it was perfect time to charge and take a break.
Yeah, just timed the charging to coincide with my bladder, and we're in good shape. It also, one of the lessons we learned was that we don't have to charge as long, right? We have shorter charging sessions for 2 reasons. One, not only are we only going a short distance, but more importantly, an EV charges faster from 10% to 50%, much faster than from 50 to 90. So the more you are charging toward the empty tank, if you will, the faster your charging session goes. So we developed that habit to charge frequently nearer empty rather than charging less frequently and including more charge above 60-70% when it really starts to slow down.
Didn't we generally charge around 100 miles?
Yeah, so we probably averaged every 100 miles. So even though our Bolt will go 200, 245 on a single charge, we already are in the habit of charging about every 100 miles. So as we think about towing a trailer, which will dramatically reduce the effective range of the Bolt, we think depending on the weight of the trailer and the speed we're required to go and the topography, lots of variables, but we think the range will be diminished 30 to 50%. And so we'll probably have to charge every 80 to 120 miles. But that's basically what we've been doing
now, yeah. So it's no different.
Well, the difference will be only in that we'll have to charge longer, because we will need to get back up to a nearly full charge before we hit the road again.
We'll take longer breaks.
Yeah, so
take our time.
So we'll have to eat more snacks.
Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of thinking about that. Now, I know some of you are thinking how horrible this sounds, and I've got just a couple of things I want you to remember. One, and most importantly, no one is ever going to make you buy a 2017 Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. If you want one, you can have one. They're affordable, but you don't have. No one's ever going to make you buy one. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that the best-in-class standards we're seeing in 2022 are EVs with 500 plus miles of range. So we're talking about a whole new game developing as cars get more aerodynamic, more efficient, and with better battery technology. And that trend will continue over the next several years. And I think by the middle of this decade, so just another 3 years of car models, we'll start to see the standard, what's typical, will really shift pretty dramatically, and that's exciting to start thinking about.
So for all you young people who don't need to stop every 2 hours or every 100 miles, you'll love that. We'll still stop.
Yeah. We're coping with our self-imposed goals, objectives, rules, but you don't have to be constrained by that. So you can just watch, and even if it is Schadenfreude that motivates you to enjoy our journey, we appreciate you taking the journey with us. So we'll be back next week and the following weeks with some updates on what we learned at the show tomorrow and the next day. But thanks for being with us this week.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.